I've never been married or in a relationship. I'll be turning 63 soon, and I've been taking 3 to 8 red tablets every day to stifle any love sentiments as I become older, becoming less driven to connect my heart and soul with any lady, even if she professes to be in a Walt. Of course, a lady doesn't have to be alone. She can easily go out and find a guy, but she wants the man. She's never seen anything so adorable. It's merely a hypergamy exercise. She is hopeful that a matchmaker exists who can introduce her to a man who is not a member of her social group. If you think back to the past, before the internet, the only location's you. This song is essentially about ladies shouting out their complaints over not having enough good men around them, even in the 1900s and 1950s. You could actually meet people through school, work, or social events that you basically needed to get asked to. They appear to have expectations for this video that are too high. In addition to the pattern that I've noticed, that the longer I go without dating or relationships, the less interest I actually have to ever go back to them, I'm going to complain about why women lose up when guys go their own way or declare themselves to be bachelors. Once more, the more at ease I feel being my own boss and making my own judgments. I become more annoyed around other people the less I want them and the longer I spend alone. Additionally, the more irritable I get around certain folks, especially when they try to control me or direct me. Going MIGTA monk has the unintended consequences of increasing productivity, happiness, and capacity to read the thoughts and feelings of others, especially ladies who are trying to control me and weasel their way into my life. More often than not, I exclusively engage with women in areas where they are expected to behave properly, such as workplaces and other formal settings. When you speak to a female cashier salesperson, assistant waiter, or any other hospitality employee, she might loathe you to her core and want to treat you badly, but she can't because she runs the danger of upsetting her employer because of all the guys out there who still yearn for female approval and attention. She needs to behave herself, therefore that's definitely your best option. She must also maintain a cheerful and upbeat mood because her manager is constantly keeping an eye on her. She is in your favor in that regard. When she is providing a product or service for you, she can treat you however badly she wants without repercussions, but if you encounter her on a personal level. The problem is that because most women must work and put on a fake smile and attitude, they are generally becoming very bitter. Additionally, they must act like they get along with both their customers and coworkers. So when girls go on dates with guys, they frequently vent all that aggressive and negative energy on the guy. The worst workplace for women is also the worst sermon ever. She had been acting perfectly all day at work until she finally catches up with him. She can then act badly around them when she sees you at a free period. She was so outgoing and accommodating to clients when I saw one of my ex-girlfriends at work, but then she would become cold and uncommunicative around me at. It used to be that men could actually use force or threat of force to get women. We were dating or married to behave themselves. Obviously, we can't do that anymore. So women don't respect us for any and all power and authority. We might actually have any more. The longer I go without dating or a relationship, the less tolerant I am with regards to these types of monkey business that women try. Women are now sending me mountains of verbal vomit in the form of walls of texts. They'd frequently show interest in me, but I don't care at all. I just want to lie next to the fireplace and be left alone in the silence like a worn-out dog. In fact, I'd say that going my own way has greatly reduced my tolerance for the insults that women and men, for that matter, directed at me. It's not that I've turned against you. Simply put, I prefer pleasant social interactions where I am treated with respect to those where I am abused. It's not a coincidence that the Tinder ladies I've met this year were nasty and unpleasant. I believe that as for the title women hating bachelors, it's fairly obvious why it happens. It usually has to do with the idea that misery loves company and the idea of a man doing whatever he wants in life makes them miserable because a single man is a free slave. They are taught that men are their servants from a young age. So when they see one of us deviating from that social script, they actually fan outrage. Women despise bachelors because our money is untouchable. If a woman hooks you up with one of her friends, she can use your house on girls' night when it's hosted at her place or yours and more of you. But if you don't have a girlfriend or wife, she can't really invade your space. I've spoken before about women invading male spaces, living with the woman and getting married, like an extension of a female, kind on the whole entering your space and colonizing it. Men colonized the world. Women colonized male spaces with their sexuality. If they can't use that to colonize your space, they're out of luck. All of those male resources are right there, but they're out of reach. They're like a pirate's treasure that can't be found because the man won't give them the map to his heart. Bachelor's taxes have a long history. When you're a man in a relationship, you see it as the man's natural state, and you think every man should do the same thing because it validates your reason for existing in this. Once upon a time, a man needed to marry because there was no social security. I believe men did their own thing as bachelors and went their own way because they could discuss female nature and male-oriented and segregated spaces. They could discuss how terrible living with a woman was with a man whose wife ran off. Many guys came to the conclusion that staying single was preferable to what the poor soul had to endure. Other guys, such as Tesla and Newton, declared themselves to be single because they were preoccupied with other activities while still being a verified bachelor. I believe that if I was still in love with the woman, I would be easily controlled, punched, and inebriated. Women despise bachelors, but innovation and the ultimate strength of the patriarchy, which women defined, derived from men spending time alone thinking, creating, and writing. So they hinder man's ability to create new things and communicate new ideas by restricting his alone time. He is too preoccupied with servicing her and women, in general, to put his own needs first. Serving her in womankind, on the whole, to look after his own best interests and the best interests of society. Albert Einstein became a temporary bachelor while working on the theory of relativity. He wanted to be married, but still focus on his work in isolation, so his wife would drop off his meals to his study each day and leave him in peace over time. I think she lost it because she didn't have a man to nag because he was too busy working on Relate. Women are like airjaw striving to equalize the world's pressure. If we could employ technology to create a large-scale vacuum against gynocentric, it's no coincidence that feminism and systemic oppression of men in the West are getting worse as men gain things like adult content and now personal online spaces to discuss MICT. We're trying to create a vacuum virtual space of male energy and ideas, and attempts are being made by society to block its continued existence. It's like you are in a submarine and you're moving deeper and deeper until your hull gets crushed. Marketo has the power to take that pressure away by taking women's power away to criticize us because we understand the game altogether. The pressure will be pointless in our. We'll have thickened to a point where we'll be absolutely unstoppable, like a juggernaut, then not even Deadpool in his tumor canes can stop. That's one change that can revolutionize human societies forever away from men, accumulating wealth to impress women with meaning, and towards a cult of the individual.